moments in bodybuilding history when the world stops, the lights freeze, and one man walks forward carrying the weight of every dream, every doubt, and every drop of sweat that ever built this sport. And in that moment, that man is Derek Lunsford. From a small-town boy with big dreams to the face of a new era, Derek's rise isn't just a story. It's a revolution written in flesh and fire. He wasn't supposed to be here. He wasn't born into fame or gifted with unshakable genetics. He earned every inch of muscle with faith, discipline, and a heart that refused to break. When the world first saw him dominate the 212 division, they called him a prodigy. His proportions were unreal, his conditioning flawless, his humility disarming. But Derek Lunsford didn't come to stay comfortable. He came to evolve. And that's what separates the greats from the legends. They're never satisfied with what they've already achieved. After conquering 212 Olympia, Derek made the decision that would change his destiny forever, to step into the open class, where the monsters of muscle ruled, where mass was king and fear was common currency. People doubted him, whispered that he was too small, too soft, too new. But Derek heard it all and used it as fuel. When he walked into that first open show, it wasn't his size that shocked the world. It was his presence. He looked like a warrior carved from discipline, a vision of balance and fullness that defied physics. Standing beside giants like Nick Walker, Samson Dauda, and Hadi Choopan, Derek didn't shrink. He shined. Every pose he hit was a declaration, every flex a reminder that greatness has no limits but the ones we place on ourselves. In 2022, when he stood toe-to-toe with Hadi Choopan and came just short of victory, the world saw something different in him, something inevitable. He didn't sulk in defeat. He smiled, trained harder, and promised himself that the next time he stepped on that stage, he would leave no doubt. And then came 2023. The air at the Olympia was electric, the audience restless. Hadi Choopan was the reigning king, fierce and dominant, while Nick Walker stood hungry for glory. But Derek Lunsford walked out like a man reborn, not chasing validation, but carrying purpose. When he hit that first front double biceps, the crowd didn't just cheer, they exploded. It wasn't about muscle anymore, it was about mastery. Every fiber in his body told a story of pain, of patience, of persistence. His condition was unearthly, grainy, full, detailed, alive. The symmetry was divine, the flow unmatched. And as the rounds went on, the tide began to turn. Even his rivals knew they were witnessing something special. Derek wasn't just competing, he was commanding. By the time the final comparisons ended, it was clear. A new king had arrived. When Bob Cicherillo's voice echoed through the arena, and new Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, the world erupted. He dropped to his knees, tears streaming down his face, hands trembling under the weight of the Sandow Trophy. In that moment, bodybuilding wasn't just a sport, it was a prayer answered. Derek's story became a message to millions that faith and fire can rewrite destiny. Because this wasn't just about victory, it was about transformation, spiritual, physical, human. From a humble believer to the most complete physique in the world, Derek Lunsford became proof that belief, when fueled by hard work, can move mountains. His reign isn't arrogant, it's earned. He respects the iron, his rivals, and the stage that made him. Every interview he gives, every word he speaks, carries humility, the rare kind that makes champions eternal. He doesn't fight his competitors, he fights his own limits. And that's why he stands now not just as Mr. Olympia, but as a symbol of evolution. The fans call him the new standard because he's redefining what bodybuilding means. It's no longer about mass alone, it's about message, meaning, and movement. Derek brought back the soul of the sport, the balance between beauty and brutality, between strength and grace. His posing isn't performance, it's poetry. His transformation from 212 to open is the very definition of courage. Because to leave comfort and face giants takes more than muscle. It takes heart. Derek Lunsford showed the world that humility and hunger can coexist, that being kind doesn't mean being weak, and that true greatness is built from the inside out. Today he trains not to prove others wrong, but to prove his purpose right. He stands shoulder to shoulder with legends, but his eyes are fixed forward, because Derek knows the future of bodybuilding isn't about who's biggest, it's about who's boldest. Every time he steps on stage, it's not just for the medal, it's for the message. He represents every dreamer who ever felt small, every lifter who was told, "You can't." And now, every time someone picks up a weight and says, "One more rep," Derek Lunsford's spirit lives through them. Because he didn't just lift iron, he lifted an entire generation. His story is a reminder that progress beats perfection, that belief outlasts fear, and that purpose will always conquer pain. He once said God's timing is perfect, and 2023 proved it. But this is just the beginning. Derek Lunsford isn't done yet. He's evolving again, chasing an even higher form of himself. Because true champions never settle, they ascend. And if you think the mountain's over, brother, you're wrong. He's just getting started. The legend of Derek Lunsford is not just about a title. It's about transformation, faith, and the relentless pursuit of better. So when you feel like giving up, remember the man who turned doubt into dominance and pain into purpose. Because like Derek, you too can rise beyond your limits. You too can rewrite your story. This is not just bodybuilding. This is belief made visible. This is Derek Lunsford, the humble beast, the faithful warrior, the new king of Olympus. And if this story ignited something in your soul, don't let it fade. Carry it to your next rep, your next day, your next dream. Because legends like him aren't just watched, they're followed. So stay hungry, stay humble, and make sure you subscribe to Muscle Craze, the home of every story where blood, belief, and iron collide to forge immortality.